Mountain, Island, Lightning Bolt, Spell Pierce, Switchblade, Stab Wound, Red Mage, Blue Mage. Bada bing, bada boom.
You want me to sing my recording song?
Yeah.
I can't.
Recording. I'm recording. Is it picking up?
My microphone. Can you hear me? Is
I'm recording.
It working? Yes, that's the how I test how my audio is doing. It's always a song.
It's a very cute way to. Today's was a very cute way to test your microphone.
Testing. Is it recording? All right. Yes, we're recording.
All right. Well, order of business 1 has been accomplished. Now we can proceed with the rest of Red Mage, Blue Mage. That's how I get excited.
Oh, okay.
I did a dance there. You'll see it in the future.
Maybe if we ever get there,
We will get there.
Time and
Space.
Yeah, that.
Time and the world and how
Time
it is.
and the everything, and more like I'm just playing Animal Crossing is the real problem here.
So we've gotten to the crux of it.
Every spare second moment, I have a new game that I love, and I'm just quitting Magic now, so I'm sorry. We're not going to have a podcast for much longer because I think I'm just going to stop playing Magic because Animal Crossing is just too good.
What can our new podcast name be that's Animal Crossing related, but still ties in with our brand?
What do you mean? Are you looking for
we're called Red Mage, Blue Mage now.
Yeah.
What can we change our podcast to?
Well, it can't be one fish. I mean, it could be about fish. It could the play off of one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
Could call it like one fish, eldritch fish, or something like that.
Or coelacanth.
This is not catchy. That's not the juice I'm looking for.
I'm trying. I'm terrible at names. We have multiple platforms, multiple shows, multiple instances people have heard that I cannot come up with names at all. So if you're what a show, Little Sparky is a name I came up with. Jalapeno was another name I came up with.
Lil J.
Little J. See, so don't ever ask me. Do not come to me asking, "Hey Amber, what do you think about naming something?" And I'll be like, "Okay, you want an Animal Crossing show?
Do you want a
Call
name
it
that starts
Animal Crossing show?
Do you want something that starts with Lil? That's what you're gonna get.
Lil Animal Crossing show.
It'd probably be super popular.
It's New Horizons, Modern Horizons, New Modern.
To connect Animal Crossing to our actual show, which is about Magic the Gathering.
God damn it.
Do you think there's any overlap in these two games and what you enjoy?
Yeah, I like seeing numbers get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously Animal Crossing's great because I just want to catch as many ranchos as I possibly can. I want to get to Mystery Island and see if I can get to the Mystery Tarantula Island so I can catch a bunch of ranchos and then I can sell them for 8,000 bells each so I get bigger numbers so that I can make a bigger house. And then I want to buy turnips and not eat my turnips on accident so that I can sell it on the stock, STALK market.
Clever.
That's what it is. And so, yeah, I just like collecting things. I just like to have a large amount of things.
Avarice.
But I also like how to get to that. There is definitely an efficiency pattern to doing things. So, in Animal Crossing, you every day you get up in the morning and you go to your rocks and you get your nuggets of iron and clay and rock from it, and then you go get wood, and then you go at certain times of the night or certain times of the day to get the higher priced bugs and stuff. And so I think that's kind of the thing too. It's if you're Animal Crossing is supposed to be a chill game, but if you really want to be I'm gonna get,
but you can optimize.
And nice segue, Kenny.
Thank you.
I had to take a moment and look him directly in the microphone or the video camera. I don't know. I can't stare. I can't look. I can't talk. I've been playing so much Animal Crossing.
Her brain's been replaced by Animal Crossing.
Yeah. So I can't. Okay, let's try that again. Yes. I had to take a second to look Kenny in the eyes through the video camera. I can't talk. Because he made a good segue because I have been optimizing other things in my life.
Would you say that you've been optimizing your commander deck?
One could say that I have been optimizing my commander deck, yes.
Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about it.
So we're talking about, is this a construction zone, or is this just talking?
This is a construction zone.
Okay, cool. There's Jeep Shop, Jeep Shop.
Construction zone. It's a bone zone. Put your helmet on, the shit is OSHA. Bust out your lotion, son, but keep your clothes on. This shit is wholesome.
So, I actually took time a couple weekends ago, before Animal Crossing came out, to actually put my commander deck in a Word document, which I have shared with Kenny.
And I am now looking at.
And I
Just to revisit, because we've talked about this in a previous one, what were your goals for revising?
So basically, we know, if you've been listening to this show sequentially, at one point I had Duretti Scrapmaster as, I bought the pre-con of Duretti. And it's fun in the sense of I liked the theme of it, this junk swapping and goblins and junk. Great. Mm-hmm. But it really wasn't doing what I really enjoy, which is how many goblins. Let's see how many goblins I can get. I want to go to Goblin Island and
catch as many goblins as I can.
Yes. So my commander deck, as it stood with the pre-con, I swapped out some stuff to help that. So I got rid of Duretti and I put in Cranko. And when I got rid of Duretti, I mean, I put him into the deck. I didn't take him out of the deck. I just did not make him my commander anymore.
Right.
So what I've done, and then I started to add stuff to optimize Cranko as the commander. And so I had already done one revision, and we talked about that.
Right.
So now I'm working on the third revision. This is to get rid of the stuff that is not really relevant to Cranko and the goal of this deck. So I have been, there's stuff in my thing like Maniacal Rage, which was an enchantment that really doesn't do too much.
Was that one of those enchantments that makes it so like another creature you don't control can't attack you, and it gives it some bonus?
I can't remember. I should probably have everything up. Maniacal Rage MTG.
Oh, yeah, it just gives 2/2 and can't block.
It's an aura.
Already a strike against you.
Yeah, it's I don't care about auras. Why was this in my deck?
That's not even a good aura. It's
not even a good aura, so it's just taking up space. Liquid Metal Coating, I don't really care about artifacts anymore. It's not an artifact deck in the sense of
that's the whole focus.
I don't this is to make a creature an artifact on top of its other type, and it's I don't care. Mm-hmm. Same with Mishra's Self-Replicator. It's it could be whatever. And then there's other things what else was I getting out of here? I had Dualcaster Mage in here for some reason. That doesn't make any sense. And then, of course, I'm not doing Duretti anymore. Mm-hmm. So I was he's nice to be able to cycle out cards if I need to. But honestly, the ideal is I wouldn't have to really, because every hand is going to be a great hand. Everything I'm going to be play, and then, hopefully stuff doesn't prevent me from, things. But
I like this plan.
Yeah, and there's other things I'm trying to think of to get rid of. But there's a lot, I don't know. I'm working on what to cut out of here. Mm-hmm. still, but I also in the meantime have been buying cards that I want to go into my deck.
Right.
And so because I have those cards, I will find. So yes, I do have 3 right now out in front of me. One is Coat of Arms. It's an artifact, costs 5. Each creature gets +1/+1 for each other creature on the battlefield that shares at least one creature type with it. For example, if 2 Goblin Warriors and a Goblin Shaman are on the battlefield, each gets +2/+2. Okay, great. Goblin Assault is 2 and a red enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token with haste. Goblin creatures attack each turn if able.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got Goblin Bombardment, which is 2 and a red enchantment. Sacrifice a creature. Goblin Bombardment deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So try to get around and go directly to people. You can see how great that is.
Yeah.
Now I also have in front of me
Oh my god.
some envelopes.
I'm looking at them.
If we were streaming, this would be an unboxing, unenveloping,
Unenveloping.
de-enveloping, opening. I'm gonna check my backpack to make sure. I thought I had 5 of them. Let me double check.
Okay. It's some nice zipper action going on right now.
Some rifling, okay, like a little
some
rifling
riffling.
like a goblin. Okay, so we're gonna open these up, and it's gonna be ASMR
Did you know, by the way, I think it's pronounced riffling.
rifling.
I've always said rifling, and then I heard someone say riffling.
Huh. All right. Well, I'm ripping a thing right now. I'm gonna go ahead and just open all of these.
I just went to Google. Riffle.
Riffle. Riffle me, Captain.
Why captain?
I don't know. I was thinking Crunchitize me, Captain. So
Gotcha.
riffle me, Captain.
Then you made it like sexy as well.
I don't know. It sounds.
Riffle me.
It's the word sounds sexy, doesn't it? Riffle. I'm all a riffle.
My heart's all a riffle. My panties are all a riffle.
Stop riffling my panties. Please don't put this in here. I don't care. Whatever. People need to know the real me. Okay, so I've opened these cards during all this conversation, and it was indeed riffling. So cards. Wow, I'm still riffling. Oh shit! I forgot I ordered some of these and they're Japanese.
No, no. Now you don't even know what they are. You can't read Japanese.
Not right now. I used to be able to kind of be able to put stuff together. Okay, so I've got 4 cards here. Let me look up what I spent my money on.
Oh boy, this is quite the homework assignment you're giving me.
Welcome. All the editing you have to do?
Yeah.
So, okay, so this pack of cards, I have 4 cards. Chancellor of the Forge, 4 red, red, red. It's a creature giant. It's not a goblin, but that's okay. Because you may reveal this card from your opening hand. If you do, at the beginning of the first upkeep, put a 1/1 red goblin creature token with haste onto the battlefield. When Chancellor of the Forge enters the battlefield, put X 1/1 red goblin creature tokens with haste onto the battlefield, where X is the number of creatures that you control.
Very nice. I remember those chancellors. They all did something when they were in your opening hand, and I was thinking when you were first reading that, like, that's not enough reason to have it. But the fact that it gives you that when it enters the battlefield.
Enters the battlefield.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, I remember that one game we played where it was like I had 700 goblins.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
It was a good victory for me.
I fucking hate you. Because of that stupid crawl space. Okay, anyway. The next card I have is Mob Justice. It's 1 and a red. Sorcery. Mob Justice deals 1 damage to target player for each creature you control.
So that would help with the crawl space situation.
And it costs 2.
Wow.
Like 2 total mana. 1 and a red.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so the next card I got, which is in Japanese, is Impact Tremors. It's an enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, Impact Tremors deals 1 damage to each opponent.
Wow. Krenka, that's ridiculous.
It's 2 mana again. A red and a whatever. Red and a
Colorless.
whatever. Colorless. And then the next one I have that's Japanese is Goblin Chieftain. Costs 1 red. Creature goblin has haste. Other goblin creatures you control get +1/+1 and have haste.
Very nice.
Okay, so that's that one pack. I think those are the only 2 Japanese cards that I bought.
Gotcha.
But we'll see, because I don't remember.
Knows?
Who fucking knows? I don't know what I buy. I just throw money into the internet and sometimes stuff comes back to me. Next card I got was Goblin War Chief. 1 red. Creature goblin. Goblin spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Goblins you control have haste.
Yep.
Goblin Matron. 2 and a red. Creature goblin. When Goblin Matron enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a goblin card. Reveal that card, put it into your library, then shuffle your library. She costs 2 and a red. Did I say that already?
Yes.
Okay. 1/1 creature. Okay, so that was that pack. Oh my god. Sorry.
So many.
I bought a lot because I'm like, I need to
Tend to beef this deck up.
Well, see, it was because we were going to go to Roll Plus and I was going to be in the Commander game.
Right.
And I was like, I'm going to go ahead and try to optimize because last year people would gang up on me if this happened, honestly. Like, once the goblins start coming out, people start getting freaking scared and then they'll start beating up on me.
Well, for good reason. It's terrifying.
Well, get good. So the next card I bought was Shared Animosity. Oh, so I can't talk. Shared Animosity. It's an enchantment. It costs 2 and a red. Whenever a creature you control attacks, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each other attacking creature that shares a creature type with it.
So it's kind of 1/2 of Coat of Arms in a way.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. What was the cost on that again?
2 and a red, and it's an enchantment.
So quite a bit cheaper than Coat of Arms. And you don't even really care that it's not giving you toughness, and it's only when you're attacking, because you're attacking with this deck.
Yeah, I'm constantly attacking. Like, it's just, Okay, last card. Oh, it's a Japanese card.
Yep. I was lied to.
I thought I had them all. Japanese. Oh, okay. This one is Door of Destinies. Artifact. As Door of Destinies enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, put a charge counter on Door of Destinies. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1 for each charge counter on Door of Destinies.
Damn.
This was an $8 card.
Yeah, I assume the Coat of Arms was a little expensive too.
Well, you know what's nice? Brandon had bought one of those mystery boxes.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely fucking worth the cost of $100 to get it because he ended up getting. What did I snap you a picture of? That card that's like $200.
Oh, I don't remember off the
remember.
top of my head, but yeah.
Yeah, and so he got that, and so of these cards, like in those boxes, I got Coat of Arms and the first 3 that I don't know where they went to.
Nope, they're gone forever.
Oh, there it is. That's where I got Coat of Arms. Coat of Arms cost 5. Goblin Assault and Goblin Bombardment were the ones that were in the mystery boxes. So.
Oh, nice. So you just slotted them in.
Yep. So I have
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards
To add in.
to swap out. And I think it's going to be a fucking nightmare for whoever plays against me.
I agree. I've played against Revision 2.
2. You've played with the Duretti deck, and then
Revision.
I've had 2 revisions, haven't I? I think I've done Duretti, a different Duretti, and then Cranko.
Yes. I think maybe I played against Revision 1.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Revision 1 and Revision 2 recently. Yeah.
Right. And yeah, already approaching nightmare levels. So as further and further optimization happens.
Oops, I made a really good commander deck.
Whoopsie.
Whoops. I just spent like $30 to add into my commander deck that I already spent.
Well, the good news is
$80.
you'll get use out of it for sure.
Yes,
no
I
matter
will.
what.
Commander's like my favorite format now, so I mean, I will play it a lot. I like it.
Yeah. Awesome.
And then I'm going to start actually going to branch out and try and make another commander.
Ooh.
And so I'm trying to... It's themed. I can be your Angle or I can be your Devil.
So it's going to be Angels.
Angels and Demons by Dan Brown.
What colors are you thinking? Black, white?
Black, white.
The natural fit, of course, it would be Kalia of the Vast, but she's very expensive.
So again, we'll see if that truly is what it is. But I'm what commander kind of deck would you like to do, Amber? I'm like, I want demons, or I want devils, but I also like angels. So let's do an angels and devils deck. I can be your angle or your devil. Is what I'm calling it.
Very nice.
And I'll probably do like things where it's like, was it Angelic Destiny, where you get to turn
a demon into
an angel? Yeah, redeemed.
That's cool. I wonder if there's anything that turns stuff into demons, because then you can have both sides. I think there is.
Nice.
Hold on, let me look something up real quick.
Okay.
There's a Kamigawa card that I think. Yes. Oni Possession.
There you go.
Hold on.
Ooh. Oni Possession. 2 and a black. Enchant Aura. Enchant creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a creature. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3 and has trample. Enchanted creature is a demon spirit. That's another one too. I was thinking about doing like a spirit or like a ghosty one.
Ooh.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
So.
Yeah. So now you can.
So I can do angels and demons, or I can do angels and spirits, which would also be fun.
Oh yeah, that'd be a very angelic kind of, very divine.
But first, I'm going to focus on this getting Kranko deck the way I want it, and then, then we'll think about branching out into the other commander territory. But yeah, that's what's going on. So one day we'll play Commander again. Whenever we can see each other in person and not worry about giving each other
viruses.
What
a day that will be.
I mean, we're always going to give each other viruses. That's kind of the human condition.
True. Well, luckily, Arena is here in the meantime.
True.
We need to start cranking on.
And we need to start streaming. I need to get my ass together. I need to stop playing Animal Crossing.
Well, that's not happening, is it?
It's because I made you buy a Switch, and now you're going to start playing Animal Crossing, and we're never playing Magic the Gathering again. So this is our last podcast. Thanks for everybody listening. Catch you on the internet. See you later.
You can find us at littleanimalcrossingshow.com.
I'm going to catch a bug, is that show's called. We got different segments, like the best bug you caught, and
Rancho
that fish
Corner.
Is cool. Rancho Corner. What did you get from the sky today?
Sorry, I had to jot down the show title of Little Animal Crossing Show.
So the title of this episode is going to be?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that's Construction Zone. I'm done with it.
Okay.
Put a tarp down, cover it up. Ain't nothing to see here. Time to move on.
Okay. Then let us move on. I thought we would touch on something that we've mentioned and talked about in passing here and there, but never really given a dedicated time to. So, what do you say we go to Flavor Town?
Oh yeah, welcome to Flavor Town, home of the creamiest flavors inside the Berlin. I can't run. It is the Lurgoy.
Toot toot, chugga 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 chugga, toot toot, lick lick, good Flavor Town, yeah.
I'm always a big fan. The fact that we don't have a soundboard to like play our intro music, and I add it in post, means that you always sing a song that is different from the actual song.
And no one ever gets to hear the beautiful song.
That's not true. I usually put in your musical stylings as the actual music fades out.
No, you
Yes,
don't.
Yes, I do.
I don't listen to our podcast. Sorry, I haven't in a while. Don't feel bad.
I don't feel bad.
Okay. He says as he starts crying silently.
No, if I like hired out editing, I don't know that I would like listen to some to make sure the quality was good. And
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't listen to a lot
That's
of it.
kind of what happened to Shapeshift. I used to listen to like every episode as it came out, even when I edited it, when I was the one editing it. But after
then
I
you just
got
crunch for
editor,
time.
yeah, it's just like, and I don't have time to listen to podcasts in general now, unless it's like, and I do binge listen, like
Right.
like I did
Right.
60 episodes of Criminal, like,
Right.
but they're like 15 minutes. Anyway, so stop talking about other podcasts. Let's go back into what
right.
we're supposed to be talking about.
Animal Crossing.
Right.
No. I thought we would talk about the Eldrazi today in a more focused. Well, focus is a strong word. A more concentrated way. Basically, what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Eldrazi in general. I want to talk about Emrakul. I wanted to talk about your conspiracy theory, where they might be going with the Eldrazi, and probably it'll just turn into cosmic horror because that's an interesting topic for me. Yo.
I don't remember. Do you want to know what I don't even remember what Eldrazi are. Do you want me to like explain what I think Eldrazi are?
That's exactly what I was going to ask you to do anyway.
Okay, well, I'm ahead of the game. A+ for me.
Tell us everything you know or think you might know about the Eldrazi. She's rolling up the sleeves.
Pulling my hair back. It's gonna get sweaty and spitty.
She's putting on surgical gloves.
Yeah, that's what surgical gloves sound like.
Sounds a lot like an actuator. Sheep shop, sheep shop.
Yep.
Okay.
Eldrazi.
Yeah.
Cool name. Love it. Good job.
Yep.
2. Came from space? Probably. In between space? More likely.
So far, so good.
Don't give a fuck about existence. Just live to eat.
Okay, good.
People are like, those are scary. Don't let them in. Other people are like, hey, let those motherfuckers destroy things, because that's real cool.
Maybe.
The end.
The only place you really got off the beaten path, I think, is with people are like, let them in.
And when I say people let them in, I'm talking about Nicol Bolas, because that is what he should have fucking done.
Let's unleash them.
You know what's more edgelord than anything is just not giving a fuck about anything anymore. I mean, like, if I can't be the most powerful, nothing is going to be the most powerful. So I'm gonna let the things that exist outside of power wreck shit, and I don't care if that means I'm gonna die too, because fuck it all.
That would be, you're giving me an idea here. That would be an interesting way, because we mentioned long ago, we were talking about the Eldrazi. We had an episode where I was mentioning how the Eldrazi got released on Zendikar. They were trapped. And we found out that it was Nicol Bolas's schemings that brought 3 planeswalkers together, which was like the trigger that unleashed the Eldrazi. And they never revisited that. They never said why Bolas. And that's part of what led to your theory that Nicol Bolas will planeswalk into an Eldrazi.
I mean, I like to think that the Eldrazi are basically a compressed time-space being that could theoretically be a plane in of itself. That is my headcanon. I think that's super cool. I would love that. It's kind of like
Higher dimensional space.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't even know if they're sentient.
Knee slapping.
It makes me laugh every time. It feels good to say sentient.
Makes your mouth go very square.
I know, and I like it. So, I don't know if they're, like, can even comprehend or think on, like, our level. Mm-hmm. Or if they, like, are just running on pure, like, we're forces of nature. If that's the case, I think it's a really cool idea that they are actually somehow made of matter that makes up a plane of existence. Mm-hmm. And therefore, if a planeswalker can planeswalk, they could theoretically planeswalk into an Eldrazi. and maybe not necessarily be like, oh, I'm inside, like I'm standing on a planet
like
on a
physically.
grassy knoll, but like somehow meld into an Eldrazi, in the sense like, you know, when Shinji melted into the Ava sort of situation, and like the consciousness became one.
Right.
And to me, that'd be like, that would be so fucking awesome.
It would be.
And why wouldn't Nicole Bolas want to do that?
I think it would be interesting too, for a couple of reasons. One, you know, your idea about the consciousness or whatever you want to call it, the shinshins of a Eldrazi being a like some kind of manifestation. That'd be a cool way to tie in some more like Lovecraftian stuff, the dreamlands, the idea of like these higher planes of elevated thought or consciousness being physical places. I think that's really cool. And so that there's like stuff you could draw from that exists in fiction. The other thing, a lot of people have asked over the years, because the Eldrazi are a pretty popular creature type, people have asked, are we ever going to go to the Eldrazi's? They don't have a world, like you're saying. They live in between space. They live in the blind eternities, is what it's called in the game. And they've said pretty consistently, no, the blind eternities aren't really a place that you can go to. The whole idea of them is that if you go there, it's chaos and you die.
So, but in the in-between space, that's where planes exist, right? Like, the blind eternities are like, it's like the stuff
media.
that's between, like, you know, you have red cells and white cells, and you have plasma. Like, is it the plasma of the body of the planes? Like, does that make sense?
It does make sense. It depends on how literally you're interpreting these things. And they've never really, like, concretely said a lot of stuff about this. They leave it kind of open to interpretation, which I'm fine with. But it is the media that is like between planes. But is that a physical thing? In my head, it's not really like a physical thing that you pass through. It's like some higher dimensional reality or something, or it's like in Warhammer you have the warp or I think it's called the warp that connects everything. It's like this other place. It's not like traveling through space to get from one place to another.
Oh, okay. Because my head, I was like, is it like a bowl of soup?
I mean, it might be
basically the broth is the blind eternities, and like the chunk of potato is Theros.
Always potatoes in your analogies.
You know what?
People like potatoes.
I enjoy a good potato. I'm sure our listeners enjoy potatoes.
Definitely.
It's something all of us can relate to. When you look at a bowl of soup, the soup
is the blind
the
eternities.
liquid is the blind eternities, and the chunk of potato is Theros.
What I was going to say is that your idea of the sentience, the consciousness, whatever, of the Eldrazi being like some sort of physical manifestation, that could be a way that could get around the fact that the blind eternities aren't a good setting. Is like, if instead the plane that they're visiting in whatever block it would be in the future is the plane of this Eldrazi's consciousness.
They should have a metaphysical set.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, if it comes to that Nicole Bolas ends up planeswalking into Eldrazi, it should be all about the shit that's going on inside of an Eldrazi. I'm just saying. It'd be fucking sweet. It'd be hard as hell to design.
Yes.
But
I think
I believe in you, R&D, most of the time. Some of the time. Try it. Maybe it'd be cool. Maybe you would make a really cool thing that works really well with a cool, tight, cool theme. Or you make it just a bunch of Okos and then it's just a broken piece of shit. But either way, it'd be fun and I would be all about experiencing that.
I was thinking too, my brain's kind of going in two different directions. Let me jump off what you just said. Do you think they could do that? And might... Well,
a metaphysical set?
A metaphysical, like, Eldrazi set. Because one of my questions is, we've had the Zendikar blocks, which are about the Eldrazi, obviously. And then we had not Shadows over Innistrad. Yeah, that's what it was called. Shadows over Innistrad. And that was all about... That really was, like, much more directly Lovecraft, Innsmouth, like, Lovecraft stuff. Whereas, like, investigating what's happening here, like, it felt very Call of Cthulhu. But...
here's what I would envision, if you don't mind me interrupting you. Okay, sorry. So, I see it as a journey. No.
Okay.
Come along with me, Kenny. So, basically, I think it would be very interesting. Oh my gosh, he's taking off his glasses because he can't handle this right now. I think the arc would be, essentially, Nicol Bolas figuring out this plan of how he's going to do this. Doing it, but in the meantime of having to do this, I think he has to lose his sense of self. So we get to go on a journey. He is in
his meditation realm.
Through losing his self. So like shedding like, and you would see like, but you would get cards that are related to like his past and like all this stuff that's tied to his inner turmoil and drama, and which would be fucking fantastic. I would love it so much. And then it's like actually melding with the Eldrazi, like when he actually achieves that part of it. And then you would, yes. But then it's like what happens in it. So now you have another melding of things happening. So I also see it also as like, have you seen Pacific Rim?
I know the premise that we've talked about before.
The kaiju, they like one of the characters ends up like drifting with a kaiju and then like seeing the other alien world. I think that would be like that experience would be happening. And I think what would be really cool is if Eldrazi's are truly world eaters, like they're eating planes, that we would get to experience planes that we've never seen before that are these really weird filtered through stuff. So Nicol would then, so you got the whole figuring out, losing sense of self, stripping ego, stripping who you are, then melding with, and it could be like that would be a mechanic meld, right? And then you would go into this weird, like, seeing the world through, seeing planes through Eldrazi, essentially. And then the end of it would be when the completion has happened, and then Nicol has wrestled this Eldrazi with his powerful, he regains his sense of self and blah, 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 blah in this Eldrazi. And then he goes to wherever he opens up a world, like opens up the world for the Eldrazi. Like he swims through the broth of the blind eternities and finds that potato chunk, and Theros is gone.
Winds up in the meditation realm again, and the gate is surrounding him, and they're all clapping.
Congratulations, Omedeto. But yeah, that's what I would think. I think that would be a really cool set to try and design around. It would be so fucking hard,
super high level conceptual, but like psychological thriller kind of.
Yeah, God,
it's very interesting.
Hire me, wizards. I can come up with high concept bullshit that you'll have to deal with and try to make it into workable
another
stuff.
Theory I had, you were talking about these Eldrazi eating worlds and stuff. I think, what if Bolas had as a backup plan, like if he gets captured here, this would be a way to tie in why he released the Eldrazi in the first place. If he could somehow summon them or trigger them to come to the meditation realm and they start eating it, like, because they just eat magical places, and that's breaking down the prison, basically. He's using them to jailbreak himself. God, I would love this.
Man, what a cool story.
It is. I think, so what I was saying a while ago, and my question was going to be, do you think Magic the Gathering, the card game, is a medium by which you can actually tell, like, cosmic horror stories?
I think they would have a lot of good opportunity to really push their bounds of art here, which could help do that. I think a lot of cosmic horror stuff is... There can be some really unsettling still images of things that could work really well in this. Like, I'm really imagining, like, ridiculous... It would almost feel like an unset, I think, just because of the way that I would... Especially if, like, you're defragmenting, refragmenting, coming back into whatever. Mm-hmm. I think there's really cool opportunities to push art design and even, like, their border and flavor text. I would be... Yeah, it would be so... I don't know. I think it could be really well done. I think it could be done really well in a card game. I mean, we already get story stuff from the cards. Yeah,
for sure. I was just thinking about, again, thinking back to Shadows over Innistrad, where they tried to tackle, like, just telling a real cosmic horror story. Mm-hmm. At least my experience of reading the cards and checking them out, a lot of it didn't really land for me. It's like evoking that stuff if you already know it, but you weren't really experiencing it directly for the most part. There was an exception, though. I think I've shown you this card before. It's in the notes here.
Okay.
So this is Brizella, Voice of Nightmares. I'll read the card, but then I'll explain more. So it's a legendary creature, an Eldrazi angel, maybe for your commander deck. A 9/10, flying, first strike, vigilance, lifelink. Your opponents can't cast spells with converted mana cost 3 or less. And the flavor text says, upon discovering what had become of her sisters, Sigarda could only weep. And so on the right-hand side on the screen, you can see other parts of this card.
Yeah.
So these were, Bruna and Gisela were 2 of 3 legendary angels that were, like, charged with protecting Innistrad. And in this, they're angel horrors, and if you have both of them at the same time, you meld them. So you flip them over, each is half of this bigger card. That becomes Brizella, Voice of Nightmares. And that part really worked for me, this idea of taking these heroes of this world and fusing them in this unholy, like, abomination. Like, that actually felt subversive enough to actually get some kind of reaction out of me. I think you'd have to do a lot of stuff like that if you wanted to do your kind of metaphysical exploration.
As if I need more... As if I need more projects. But my mind is already like, let's start building this fucking set because I think it would be fantastic. And I'm like, fuck me, Amber. No, you can't do that. You can't
sell that.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like, is it... So, like you said, like, mine's really high-level concept. This idea of this journey of Nicole...
Journey of the mind.
Journey of whatever. And it's like, is it marketable? You know?
I think it'd be tough.
I think it'd be really tough to market it because it's such a niche thing, and it's not like conventional, like,
you'd have to... My marketing mind is just like, you'd have to just lean on, this is the Eldrazi world, this is the Eldrazi set.
Yes.
And then use that to hype people up.
I think you would have to, definitely. And you would have to actually have, I think that's the thing is, like, there would be cards related to specific Eldrazi. Maybe you would see more of these melded creature things that exist in the Blind Eternities now, that Nicole encounters. Yes? You said you were going to say something?
No, I had a stray thought in my head. Like, you're looking into, the subconsciousness, the consciousness of the Eldrazi. I was thinking it might be cool to see glimpses of what the Eldrazi were originally. In my head,
and maybe
I've always thought of them as like an ancient race that somehow ascended.
Yeah, that
maybe
could be cool too.
World. Yeah.
That could be too cool too, or it could be like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because of how I am. I really don't. I'm tired of like the known stuff. Like I like things just being.
No, I agree. That's why.
It's not the right word. Because to me, it's like sometimes stuff is nothing. Sometimes things is just. It happened. Like this was just a force of nature that started consuming, and they were never anything but energy. That just as they consumed worlds over time, maybe they gained some sentience.
No, I agree. Like, I think it's fun to speculate about these things, but once you start filling in too many blanks, it stops being...
I don't want Prometheus.
Right.
I don't want that to be a thing with Eldrazi. I don't want us to, these are the original humans. Right. These were all the humans at one point in time. I don't want that. I would be much happier if it was like, a tornado farted out a thundercloud, and then this was an Eldrazi.
I know what you mean. I'd be much happier if you just left it opaque.
Yeah.
Like, give me enough tantalizing things that I can speculate wildly.
Right. I think some of the I don't think it's cosmic horror, but some of like the horror stuff or like the sci-fi stuff I like is I think, God, I wish I could remember. I wish I had the ability to remember things and to articulate the stories. I have pieces floating around in my brain, but I don't have that ability. But what I want to talk about is specifically is that feeling of like, yeah, there's what happens, why, and you're just left with that. I like the story where it's like basically a computer generated to produce answers, and over time it's so smart and it's just it just floating around space, just computing, and then that's the story. Like to me, that's great. Like, wow, does that computer go on forever? What happens to it next? It's kind of sad, but is it? I don't know. Nature. Does the computer even care? Do I even care? No. But I like those kinds of things where it's just like left to. I like that weird hollow feeling at the end of a story where you're like, wow, that was cool. I don't have any answers.
Right.
But what a cool time I had. That's what I like.
No, I agree. I mean, it is like, I think a good example of what we're talking about, like, Ava is good for this, because you first got me into Ava. You showed me a YouTube video that was like, I'm explaining all of Ava. Like, here's like kind of the full picture. Or similarly with Bloodborne, there's the Pale Blood Hunt is a 100-page treatise on what actually happened, and I enjoy that stuff a lot, and I get really into it. But when you actually look at the show of Ava, the whole idea of the angels come from the first ancestral race or whatever, none of that is present in the show. Nope. And you have to make a lot of leaps to get there. Yeah. It's not at all, and it's nowhere is it really clear.
Nope.
Which I like.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, I do. I like that too. And like, even though people have put together tons and tons and tons of information that's pulled from lots of meta media, stuff that is spin-offs or like was part of video games or was part of a manga series spin-off or was notes in the end of a manga or like anime translation, stuff that the creator said, like they all pull together. And it's kind of like also the same with a Nier Automata. Oh God, I can never say the Automata. God, damn it! This blasted mouth and brain situation. I am confounded by it every day. Words do not fit inside this gaping hole. My tongue fumbling around vowels and consonants.
Ash spilling from my maw.
I'm an Eldrazi now. I'm losing the ability to communicate.
I don't relate to you humans anymore.
Words.
What are they?
What are they? But yeah, Nier, where it's also the same kind of convoluted, like, there's a stage play script, I think, that has stuff that is, or like a 3-part I can't remember. It's fun to go down those holes. I love it. I would love to see the same thing happen in Magic. I think there's a lot of cool things they could do with this kind of storytelling. I think they have a wide enough market that they could even have to make it a core set. It could just be like, you know, one of their secret lair or something. I don't know.
Sure.
Whatever. Something. It could be over a set of pre-cons. I don't care, but they could make a really cool story with this high level they have it. They have Eldrazi. They have this. They could do something cool with it.
Right. And all they've done with them so far is take over worlds. Yeah, we got to wrap up.
Wow.
One last thing though. With the Eldrazi and this whole idea of don't fill in too many of the blanks. they have started to do that with the Eldrazi. So in Shadows over Innistrad, Emrakul is the big threat. And in it's a short story called The Promised End that they put up on the website when they were doing that. It tells the story of how they imprisoned Emrakul in the moon. And in doing so, they kind of commune with Emrakul, and Emrakul has adopts a human persona and is speaking with them and is saying like, now is not my time. This isn't how it's supposed to be. And I'm like, stop it.
Yeah.
Emrakul should never talk ever.
No. Why are they doing this? No. Let your cool shit be cool. Stop trying to slap human on everything. I don't need to relate to this moon man.
Well, exactly. Like, Emrakul's whole thing is that she embodies isolation and distance. Their pronouns are all messed up, but they're supposed to embody isolation, distance, the void. And then you have this story where she's like talking with people and like communicating about her purpose, and it's like, what?
It would be way better if she was just sending psychic brain scrambles, because she's just trying to get out of the moon, and it's like, I'm a force of nature. I am trapped. I cannot be myself. I can't. And you could make a really good story out of that too, where it's like this thing, you're inhibiting its ability to do what it's supposed to do. Either destroy it or let it go and let it serve its sense of purpose. And it's like, then you have these weird scrambled...
Right. We should know any of that, though.
Yeah, but we should know. But, it could be inferred.
Right.
It could be
told... Make it so that people can speculate about it.
Yes.
That's one of the big keys, I think. Okay. Well, let's wrap up. You still thinking about it?
God, what a cool set that could be.
Well, maybe we'll, for a design a card or something at some point, we'll think about some mechanics that we might make for such a place.
Oh my god.
All right, let's wrap. Let's put a wrap on it, though.
Okay.
This has been an extra beefy episode.
Yeah, whoops.
That's no problem.
If you cut out all of me opening cards,
dog barking,
you can get 10 minutes out.
All right. Well, we're Red Mage Blue Mage. You can find us on Twitter at RedBlueMTG. Tweet at us. You can find me on Twitter at Wolfmere.
I'm at Rocket Orca.
Until next time, I'll be representing a counterspell.
And I'll be dreaming of the woman trapped in the moon.
Goodbye.
Wow, what a cool set that could be. The end. Bye.